Okay, so let's look at some of the homework and just kind of talk about some of it. So the first problem you have is if you look on page 230 at the bottom, question 1, you've got 5 parts, but it's asking you those 5 different questions there. So you're looking at the bank reconciliation process and whether it's added or subtracted, so what's going on with that. Let's look question 2. Based on what you had for question 1 or what they give you here, what would be a journal entry? So we need a journal entry anytime there is a change to our cash account that we did not previously had. So when the bank charges us a service charge and we don't have that in our books, we need a journal entry. If there was a problem and there was an error, then we need to record that difference in a journal entry. If the bank happens to collect money or make a deposit for us that we didn't have on our books, then we need to make a journal entry. When we have an NSF check, then we had already recorded that our customer paid us off, or we received the money from our customer, but in actuality we didn't get the money, so we need to put it back on the books to show that that customer still owes us the money. So the outstanding checks and the deposit and transits, we already have those in our books. Those are adjustments to the bank side, so they would not require a journal entry. The third one, you're doing a bank reconciliation. Now this one is similar too, so it's not going to be the exact problem that's in your book. But here's the information. So there's your checkbook balance, and we're starting on the checkbook side or the book side. There's your bank statement balance. There's deposit and transits, outstanding checks, bank service charge, and an NSF check. So that's all the information we have, and you got to go in and fill in your bank statement. So the first part, they want you to do the book side, and then the second part, they want you to do the bank side. So if you need to, look back on, let me find the page. Well, look back on page 216, and that has a good example that you can refer back to see what's added and subtracted. Just trying to see if they give you the details. As you go through, starting on page 209 through 216, they talk about what's added and subtracted and things like that. They don't give you a short breakdown. I'll try to come up with a paper for you guys so you can look at quickly, but 216 has a really good example that you can look at to help you do this. Okay, so question 4. Now we're coming in to dealing with petty cash and the journal entry. So you got to look out originally established, and then we had these expenses. So the first thing, or what it's wanting us to do, is record for the replenishment of the $19. So remember, we're going to put it to all those expense accounts, and then we're going to come in and make the journal entry to replenish it. So if you look at page 219, it's got the journal entries in green there that you can refer back to. So we're going to debit the expenses and then credit cash. This problem is giving you it's in a different format than the other one, but again, you're doing another bank reconciliation. So this one is establishing the petty cash fund. So again, page 219 is good. And then the second part, you have to replenish it. This one talks about cash over and short. So you got to look and consider what's on the register tape and then what actual cash do you have. So there's examples on page 222 that show you cash short and over. And the way I usually tell the students is put your cash in because that's known. and then skip a space and put your sales in because that's known. And then look and see, well, is your debit bigger or your credit bigger? Whichever one is the bigger one, you'll have to do the opposite to make it match that bigger number. So if you have more on the credit side than you do on the debit side, then you need another debit to match up to the credit. Or look at the smaller number and you'll have to add to whichever side that smaller number is on. So there's two ways you can look at it there. This question is another bank reconciliation, so I want you to get really good at it because you're going to have one on your test that you have to do a bank reconciliation. Now don't forget to click on the little icon because it gives you the extra information. This one is out of your book, so it looks like it's on, let me find the page, 6A. This is on page 233 under problems, if you need to go back and just pull your book up. That way you're not clicking between screens. And then the last problem is 6A-2, so again, a bank reconciliation. So make sure you're good with all of those. Hopefully, if you've got questions about it, let me know. I think there's really good examples in the book. But like I said, if you need me to work one out or something, shoot me a message.